Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So today I am here to break down Daniel's chapter 9. As always, let's go ahead and jump into the chapter context. This chapter forms part of the prophetic section of Daniel's writing. After confessing the sins of both Israel and his own life, Daniel received a visit from the angel Gabriel. Gabriel received a message about Israel's then future. This includes reference to the arrival of Christ and information about the still future and times. Chapter 10 begins the last of Daniel's prophetic messages. All right, now, so let's go ahead and jump into the breakdown part 1. This chapter is another of Daniel's prophetic messages. The beginning of Darius' reign came when the Babylonian king fell and the Medo-Persians took control. Daniel 5:30 through 31. Knowing the book of Jeremiah 20, 10, and 11. Who? Come on, because that 29 and 11. Okay. Daniel realized that Israel's exile was likely nearing its end. At this moment, Daniel had likely been captive for around 66 years. Daniel 1 through 7. Since Jeremiah predicted a 70-year time span, Daniel had reason for excitement and hope. Daniel 9 1 through 2. Daniel began to pray fervently for the restoration of his people. He does this form of posture of deep humility. Not only does he use his traditional signs of humbleness, such as rough clothing and smearing himself with ashes, but he also prays with meekness. Okay, hold on. Daniel is not associated with any named sin, though he will note later that he is not morally perfect. Daniel 9:20. Given his recorded actions, Daniel is very likely not guilty of sins like idolatry and perversity. Daniel 1:3, 1:8, and then Daniel 6:5, which were the sins Israel committed that led to their capture by foreign nation. 2 Kings 17:1-8, and then Jeremiah 25:7-11. Oh, and then Daniel's 1 through 7. Yet Daniel fully identifies with his people. He prays using words such as we and our as he pleads for the Lord's mercy. God tied Israel's eventual rescue in part. Jeremiah 12:14-14. Jeremiah 29:12-14. There we go. To such pleas for restoration. Daniel 9:3-10. When Israel first entered the promised land, God warned of the consequences of betraying their Lord. Deuteronomy 28:15-24. Deuteronomy 28:48-50, 63-64, and then 29:25. Deuteronomy 29:25. Yet the people followed evil rulers into widespread sin and evil. 1 Kings 15-16, and then 2 Kings 8-16. Daniel confesses these sins on behalf of the people of Israel. He acknowledges the Lord's response as justified and righteous. Israel was given multiple opportunities to ample alerts, but they turned aside. Their exile was exactly what God told them what would happen. Daniel 9:11-15. The prayer offered by Daniel shifts to a direct plea for the Lord's merciful rescue. Daniel notes that the people of Israel have become a byword, a shorthand reference used to imply deep humiliation and suffering. This suffering is a result of Israel's errors. The nation absolutely does not deserve mercy. They have done nothing which would earn them a right to be restored. And yet Daniel notes that it will be to God's glory to do just that. So Daniel boldly and faithfully begs the Lord to restore Israel. Daniel 9:16-19. As Daniel makes these prayers, he makes no effort to claim moral perfection. He includes both my sin and the sin of my people in his prayer. Daniel 9:20. Suddenly the angel Gabriel arrives. Daniel 8:15-17. He compliments Daniel by referring to them as greatly loved and promises to give further understanding of what is to happen in the future. Daniel 9:20-23. What Gabriel offers here is among the most important prophecies in the entire Bible. Okay. He speaks of various trials and troubles which will come on both Israel and the city of Jerusalem. These are a part of both the Lord's plan to accomplish certain goals with respect to the Jewish people. Gabriel also speaks of the anointed one. Come on. Using the same Hebrew word from which we derive words such as Messiah and from the Greek Christ. According to Gabriel, this figure will arrive to be cut off at a certain time Come on, Jesus. After this, another ruler will arise to both make and break an agreement leading to ultimate destruction. Daniel 9:24-27. Historians note two dates crucial to this prophecy. One is March 4th, 444 BC, the date when the Artaxerxes whoa. So it's Artaxerxes and then Longinus proclaimed that Israelites could rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Nehemiah 2:1-8. The other is March 30 AD 33, likely the day Jesus made the triumphal entry into Jerusalem as an open demonstration of his role as Messiah, and that's Matthew 21:9-11. Using a prophetic year of 365 days, 12 months of 30 days each, Gabriel's prediction bridges these two moments perfectly. As promised, the Messiah will be killed and left with nothing, only to be resurrected. Matthew 16:21, Luke 18:31-33, John 19:23, and then John 20:11-18. Other aspects of Gabriel's prediction seem to point further ahead. The 70th set of seven seems reserved for the end times. A ruler will arise, desolate the city of Jerusalem, and usher in the eternal fate of all evil. Revelations 13:11-15, and then Revelations 19:11-21. Part of this prophecy may also refer to the same trauma which Daniel observed in an earlier vision, Daniel 8:9-14, in which Jesus noted during his teaching, Matthew 24:15. After this comes the last of Daniel's prophetic messages, Daniel 10:1, covering the rest of this book, or his book. Alright, y'all, so that is all I have for the breakdown part 1. You're going to have to come back for part 2 because, y'all, Daniel is long. These chapters are long, but that's okay. That's okay. I love breaking down and just learning more. I like putting the stories that I already know. First of all, learning more and then putting them like to the book. Because like sometimes you know about, I'm going to be honest, I knew about Daniel in the Lion's Den. Did I know that it was in the book of Daniel and all what happened in detail? Sadly, no, I did not. You just hear the story and then you take what you hear and just go on about your day. So I'm glad that I am breaking down Daniel because I'm learning so much in every book in the Bible that I broke down thus far, and that the ones that I will continue to break down. I'm learning so much. I love dissecting God's word and just really taking heed of what he is trying to reveal to me. I think my favorite one thus far has to be Revelations. That's the very first one I did, because we need to know what's to come in the future, you know, and then you need to know who Jesus is, what he stands for, and how he will come back, his death and resurrection, and then how he will come back. I think that's so important so you won't be led astray. Alright, y'all, that is all I have for the breakdown, Daniel chapter 9 part 1. Come back for part 2.